A Man for All Seasons. A Man for All Seasons is an unconventional play written by Robert Bolt. In his play, we find an obvious seriousness of intention, and he achieves this intention by an efficient use of symbols and imagery. He wrote five plays. The most important of them is A Man for All Seasons. The play has a very strong statement of suggestiveness, it's a very strong element of suggestiveness, which leaves an indelible imprint on the mind of the reader. But we still find it relevant in our everyday life or in our age. The play opens with Sir Thomas More in his house in Chelsea. More is a man of learning and a scholar of Latin and Greek. The whole of Europe respects him. Even Henry VIII, the King of England, has a great affection for him. He is rising to his fame and power gradually. The Duke of Norfolk is his friend. The country is burning with an arduous problem. The king wants to take divorce from his wife Catherine. The Pope of Rome would not grant it. Hence, the king has dismissed Cardinal Wellesley for his failure to get dispensation from the Pope. In his place, Sir Thomas More, a man of great eminence, is appointed Lord Chancellor. The king believes that Thomas More, loyal as he is to the crown, will help him get the divorce to enable him to marry Anne Boleyn, a lady of the court, whom he, the king, loves. Catherine has given no male heir to the king, and the king wanted a son. He therefore has decided to marry Anne Boleyn to combine pleasure with business, as he is of the view that between him and Anne a son can be produced. Thomas More finds himself in a web from which it is very difficult for him extricate to extricate himself. His loyalty to his religion prevents him from doing anything against religion, and his loyalty to the king requires him to acquit himself well in his duties as a royal subject of the king. One day, the king visits the house of More in Chelsea to woo him to his side. He first accepts the offer to supper, but later on declines it. When he fails to persuade More to get the marriage with Catherine dissolved, the king is annoyed with him. His wife, Lady Alice, and his friend, the Duke of Norfolk, want him to please the king, but he cannot oblige them. Thomas More now seems to be walking on slippery ground. The activities of Richard Rich and Cromwell prepare us for what is to come. More is no match to such unscrupulous persons. We are further alarmed when Cromwell, on the dismissal of Cardinal Wolsey, comes closer to the king. Cromwell employs Rich in his service, who gradually rises to the position of Attorney General. And the first act of the play ends showing Cromwell and Rich hatching a conspiracy against More. Cromwell finally announces that he who puts his fingers to the flame will burn. Sir Thomas More, who has defied the wishes of the king, will suffer. The downfall of Sir Thomas More is imminent, particularly when we know that the character of hero, who is a man of principle, with unshakable faith, there is now an open confrontation between the king and Sir Thomas More. In the opening scene of Act Two, More is recognized as the champion of the church. The Spanish ambassador visits him and informs him about the likely rebellion in the northern uh, counties if More is forced to resign the Lord Chancellorship. He resigns when the convocation of the clergy deserts the cause of the church. He realizes the danger and makes his swear never to divulge what he has spoken so far. He believes that its safety lies in his sides. Then, in the dead of the night, he is called by Cromwell to make certain inquiries, where Rich is also present. But Cromwell and Rich cannot deter him. He is a match for both of them. He Cromwell he discomfited in the legal equivalents. Norfolk also continues his efforts to make more relent, but all in vain. But all in vain. More thrusts a quarrel on him, and they part in anger. More loves his daughter Margaret very much. She, along with Roper, who loves Margaret, and who has been converted to more, to the light of understanding of religion, also makes all out efforts to persuade More to declare his allegiance to the king, but he cannot budge. Finally, the new act of treason is brought by Cromwell to catch More in his web. More is arrested because he has refused to take oath acknowledging the king as the supreme head of the church. The king does not want to execute him, he simply wants More's consent to his actions. Therefore, he sends the commission of inquiry in the jail to persuade More once again to relent. But the commission does not succeed. Cromwell permits Margaret, Roper, and Alice to see More in jail, but to make him agree to sign the act of supremacy. But More refuses to sacrifice his principles. More shines at his best in the jail. Act 2, Scene 7, called the trial scene, is the best end of the play. In this scene, Moore finds himself up against determined men who want to contrive his death. Moore snubs Rich for falsity and perjury. He says that he's sorry for Rich, for he has sold his soul only for the Attorney Generalship of Wales, whereas any other man in his place would not have sold it even for the whole world. Cromwell then reads a message from the king promising pardon if More relents. More says no. He is declared guilty of high treason and is executed. He faces death like a brave man with all smiles. He is a man for all seasons. In Dr. Johnson's words, he was the person of greatest virtue these islands ever produced. This is a play by Robert Bolt, A Man for All Seasons. I hope you like it. Thank you very much. Take care.